Hello, everybody. I've got an important public service announcement for you, a message for you that may be a little difficult to grasp or believe at first, but could be very instrumental in helping you through these difficult times. There seems to be two different schools of thought on how to handle this. One is dealing with the physical world and being humans, that we need to fight, resist, and stand up. And I agree completely. Being a baby boomer and a product of the 60s, I believe that we have to be resistant to this takeover every way we possibly can. But there's also the school of thought from all of us on the spiritual side that our external world is really just a mirror of our internal environment. And what we see and run into and experience in our lives is a mirror, the universe trying to show us something that needs healing deep inside of us. So on that vein of thought, I'm trying to handle the situation from both directions. I'm doing all the things physically. I am not complying in any way. I'm going to the protests. I'm choosing carefully where I spend my money. I'm not giving it to corporations unless I have absolutely no other alternative. I'm voting. I'm doing all of that. But I also know that because these people, that this administration is basically a lot of narcissistic personalities, I have enough psychological knowledge to understand and personal experience to understand what it means to deal with someone with a true personality disorder of narcissism. And they feed off your emotions. You've heard it over and over again. They try to keep you angry or afraid because they feed off your reaction. That is true in the physical world, the psychological world. But in the spiritual way of handling it, in the spiritual realm, where we are more than just our bodies, where we are an essence, an energy form, a higher consciousness manifesting itself temporarily in a physical body. I also know that we co-create our reality with the universe, with the Creator. So whatever thoughts and emotions we hold our focus on create the frequency that we attract to ourselves. Now, this is a long-winded way of getting to the ultimate point, and I hope you've been wise enough and patient enough to stay with me for a few minutes and still be here for this. If we, instead of looking at what's happening in our government and the world, our administration, and around the world with all the other governments, if we for a moment stop looking at it as an external event and choose to look at it as a mirror of what that's reflecting in the collective consciousness of humanity, and we address those things, that is what is meant by the only way we can change this is to go within and heal ourselves. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are completely appalled by the cruelty that you see, by the inhumane treatment of people. That's my biggest trigger point. That's my biggest hot button. If the universe is mirroring this energy for you, it is showing you one of a variety of things. It could be showing you that you are not owning and being held accountable to your own times that you behave in a cruel fashion with other people. Or, if you're exactly the opposite, it could be mirroring to you the deep passiveness, the complete opposite side that you take in terms of standing up for and protecting yourself. The reason the universe mirrors things to you like this in your external environment is to wake you up to a wound that you are subconsciously carrying around in your body and reacting from daily, that is literally halting your progress, limiting your growth, and keeping you from realizing and manifesting a life as beautiful and full as you could. Now, we have our own reality that we create with the Creator, but we also have a collective reality. one where a society, a family, or a town, or a society, or a group of people, an organization, have decided that they feel a similar way and that they agree on something. They agree on what's acceptable behavior and what isn't acceptable behavior. So right now, our collective consciousness is being called to attention. We have either been blind to or turned the other cheek to and looked away from and silently allowed and accepted many atrocities throughout the last centuries. Since the founding of America, or the United States, so to speak, from colonists that came here, this was already a country. Our ancestors took over and created a huge genocide and horrible treatment of people. That theme has continued throughout our country with slavery, with wars that we were told to fight for freedom and democracy, when in reality they were simply to bully another country into getting their resources or calling them back into line with what we wanted them to do. We've been lied to and conditioned and led astray much, educated improperly, brainwashed, so to speak, much over our lifetimes. And the whole purpose of this right now is for people to wake up. It's happening more every day. More and more people are waking up every day. But some people are so deeply steeped in their subconscious behaviors, so disconnected from reality, that it is taking atrocious things and it's having to affect them in profound ways to awaken them. In the meantime, it causes a great deal of suffering for those people who did not need such a severe message and already lived that way. It's painful to watch other people suffer like that, especially if you're an empath, highly sensitive person, or just someone with a heart and a conscience. So, if you've been brave enough, interested enough in hearing what I had to say to stick with me for this long in the video, I'm going to ask you to look at what's happening in our society and our government right now, and look at what angers you the most, what scares you the most, what is getting the biggest reaction from you. And then, just for an experiment, try to sit with that and see if that was a message speaking to you. What is the message it's bringing? Is it that you were raised on fear and you're used to being afraid of authority, and you now need to remember and realize you are an adult? You no longer need to live that way. To let go of the fear and stand up and be counted. To build some strength and courage and not continue to allow that wounded inner child that was so scared to run your life for you. Is it because you see all of the anger? You can see the anger that's taking place out there, and you've been out of touch with your anger. Perhaps you've thought it's not nice. Women are taught it's not nice to be angry, so you've suppressed it. You've swallowed it. You've turned it into depression and driven it within you. Or perhaps you're stuck in raging yourself with your own family, or living in a household with a rager and someone who's abusive, and you refuse to leave to protect yourself, to protect your children. I've given you an awful lot to think about, but that's kind of why I'm here. I'm a disruptor. My purpose is to cause people to look at things from different perspectives, to try to see that what they believe is gospel truth is nothing more than a belief that it's a thought they've had over and over again. It's a habit. And they need to be re-examined as we grow and change. Some of them changed and discarded. So I'm going to ask you, friend to friend, human to human now, for your own well-being and for the well-being of all on the planet. Take a little bit of time to do some self-examination and see what is getting triggered in you and what message it has for how you need to change yourself, how you need to change your personal circumstances or your life. Take those steps to heal your own life, and you will start to see that mirrored back to you in your outer world. Changes will start to miraculously take place in the world, the government, the country. As within, so without. The microcosm is a direct copy or mirror of the macrocosm. I thank you very much for your patience and your time. I'd be very happy to hear in the comments anything, if this has sparked an interest in you, or if you have a question, or if you'd like to put a comment in there to express how you feel about this. I'm happy to hear your comments. I ask simply that you do so with respect, as if you were a guest in my home. You're a guest on my site. When you're in my comment section, please say whatever you feel truthfully, but in an appropriate and not unkind manner. Okay? Because if that's the world I want to create, those are the rules I have to live by, and the world I have to create for myself first. I practice what I preach, people. I'm walking my talk. I am doing all of this self-examination and releasing and listening for messages in this that I can possibly do, and working on my own healing as well. I'm just simply trying to share some of the knowledge that I have in the hopes that it can help bring some growth and relief and wisdom to some of you out there, because you're all my brothers and sisters. We are all one. If one of us is hurting, all of us are hurting. As long as any of us aren't free, none of us are free. And so my belief is, as long as I remain unhealed, you remain unhealed. So think about that and see if, in addition to taking steps to deal with the government appropriately and be part of the resistance, if you can also work from the energetic side, the emotional side, the spiritual side as well. Attack it from both directions. I shouldn't say attack, that's the wrong word. Approach it from both directions. Anyways, something for you to think about. I'm sending you all love, and I hope you have a kick-ass day. I know I will.